Okie dokie. Sorry about that. I was going to start 5 minutes ago, but I'm having to put people's bosses in their fucking place because they don't understand that when your employee tells you that you have to go, you have to fucking go. Off mood for it, guys. So let's try and jolly things up. Never let your employer push you around. I sure as shit don't. Right, so let's keep it cheerful because that's kind of what I want to target. with my live streams. Music's still going. Hang on, let me pause it. There we go. You've only got one life. Don't spend it sucking up to the boss. Hey, we've only got one life, guys. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Do what you gotta do. Alright, so anywho, some stuff's changed. I may have done a bit off stream. I said that I may stream before today, but you know what? I'm not overdoing it. Cut it back down a bit. Had an initial burst of sort of energy of wanting to just mod. That's sort of died off a bit now, which is good. So, what's that? Oh, that's the collision for a dragon. I didn't mean to click. I don't even know what that is. Is that collision? I think it's collision. Yeah, it's collision. Huh. G4 does collision. I didn't even know. Well, it doesn't, because G4 is not meant to be a key. But whatever G4 is mapped to, it's doing collision. I want to know. I want to know what G2 is connected to. Let me have a look. Hang on. I'll catch you all up in a second. Where's key assignments? Ah, G4 does nothing. That's interesting. So I think certain... Oh, oh yeah, of course. F4 and then G4. I think what it does is if G keys aren't assigned, it just basically makes some F keys, which is interesting. Anyway. Alright, please bear with me just one moment, guys.
Battery 90%.
Alright. Hello. Oh, fuck. I should have given you some music when I went. Never mind. Sorry about that. I had to deal with something. Fucking. Bit of fucking life advice, guys. Know your value. Know your worth. And use it. Dealing with scum. When you've got potential and talent to do something far, far bigger. Says the guy modding the creation kit after 10 years. But anyway. Scatrify welcomes the stream. Phantom is here, have no fear. Oh, I said it the wrong way around. Whoops. Black Knight welcomes the stream. Zim the Bard welcomes the stream. You're not late. Well done. I'm late. And Dordin, welcome to the stream. Love that emoji. Use it to establish world domination. Yes. Dragon5595. Welcome to the stream and the channel. Thank you for the follow. So, what happened? I don't know. I've basically polished everything up. I've got the portal system working absolutely perfectly. Shouldn't have said that, maybe. It should be working fine. Stuff's working, stuff's polished. Basically, the entire start of the mod leading to the interior is done, pretty much, with the exception of storyline stuff in journals and notes. So, essentially what I want to do today, starting off, is before I go into sort of designing the first room itself, which has sort of had a general layout done, I would like to get the rock falling stuff done, because that's the only part of this that isn't working yet. So the tower's rising out the mountain, which we'll see later on in SE. We'll have to do some testing in Ellie, which will look like a mess. It'll look horrible. But I've got an idea of how this can work. Hopefully it just works. So essentially what it is, I'm trying to make everything a lot more efficient this time around. So we have this wonderful X marker, brown X marker, same colour as poo, and this is for where you spawn rocks. And what I was doing is I'm spawning a specific rock, which is an activator that has havoc that falls, rolls off the mountainside, and just looks cool, doesn't it, you know? Because you'd think you'd get some debris when something's rising out the ground like that. And what I did before, I had 3 X markers, 3 references for rocks, 3 points of spawning. Stupid. All I need is this 1 X marker, spawn here, multiple rocks, 5, 6, 7, 50 billion, however many I'd like to spawn without crashing the game, and then just have them all spawn at random locations surrounding the X marker is a lot more efficient than pinpointing certain positions, and it doesn't limit you to like 3 or 4 that you're pointing at. You don't need it. You only need 1 marker. So, yeah. Does say you got a tower up now at the ground again? Yeah, you use a second tower for it. Basically, if you go underground, deep in the underground. Oh, that was bad. Right. Oh, hello. There we go. Right. If you go, oh shit. If you go deep underground, you'll see there's a mini tower. It's a Diddy tower. So this is a mini Caranthia tower. You can see it's tiny compared to the actual beast. What the game does, you've got this script function for translate. So obviously 2 ways of moving an object in game. You can use natural animation, which I have no fucking clue how to make my own custom one for, or you can do the easy thing that Bethesda themselves use, is use the translate function in Papyrus. So it's simple. You say I want this there. But it's not that simple, because we are, 1, moving something that's incredibly large, and there's a restriction which I'll talk about, and number 2, you need to time it in this case with a sound that I can't edit, that's a set period of time. So I want the tower to come from one location to another in a set period of time to match up with the thud sound that the towers reach the top, and just the rumbling sound, and combine it with other sounds. So what you need to do, basically that restriction I spoke of, is that anything that's over a certain size in the creation kit, it will not budge. It's glitched, or it's just a limitation of the kit where if something is too large, it won't move it. So what I did is I start with a scale of 0.05, which is pretty small, but the tower's pretty big. And then I move that tower, and then a split second after it starts moving, I fudge the game into believing it's still moving something small, but I scale the fucker up. So I scale it up to 1. So I scale from 0.05, scale it up to 1 after I start the translation, and it keeps moving. It pops into being a big one, and then just before it pops out the mountainside, it's already large scale, so all the player sees is this large thing coming out. And then because I don't want one covered in snow coming out, what I do is once it's hit the top, I give it a couple of seconds, I enable one on the top of it, and then just as it's been enabled, I remove the one that moved up underneath it, remaining the one tower that was initially disabled in the exact spot that I want, and then that makes the tower move. Along with it, I add some sound effects, I add these rocks that we're going to do, and any other little bits and bobs like touches, like if you're using an Xbox controller to play Skyrim. Blasphemy. No, it's not. I use a controller for various reasons. Then you'll get the rumble, so the controller will just be like in your hand, and then it'll like thud, big rumble at the end. So it does all that stuff. So that's kind of how you get the tower to move out the mountain. Should we coming round the... No, we're not going there. Now, my question is, why the hell did that look like there was a gap? Because there bloody well sure was. It looked like there was a gap, but I don't think there actually is. I think it's just because of where I was. No, I think it's okay. Alright, that's fine. So, anywho... So what we want to do is... Oh, shit. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, no. Oh, God. I've completely disappeared. Let's go back to where we came. So what I want to do is I just want to add those rocks on. So let me... show you the script. Let's go to a single view. Alright, that's not the script. That's that. Yeah, that is not the script. What I've done is I've included all this in like an events controller. So we've got the waking of the dragon and we've got the rising of the tar. And here I've commented out and put spawn rocks random area. So what I want to do is spawn rocks in there. I am actually going to want a double view on this. Let's just put that over there. So what I want to do, find the old one. I'll show you how I've done the old one. But basically what happens here, this just goes play a rumble effect, shake the camera, shake the controller, show a notification to get people to look where they need to. Wait for 2 seconds, make the tower rise with a sound, animate the small one, wait a second, set the scale, spawn the rocks, wait 12 seconds, the time it takes to reach the bottom to the top, rising upward, enable the new one, wait a couple of seconds, disable the old one, then enable the portal effects and increment the house owned by 1, because at this point you pretty much claimed the tower, you should own another house on your stats. That's what it does. And as you can see, it's really, really short, very swimple. It's very swimple. It's very simple. It's very sweet. It's very nice. Very efficient. And if I show you all the old shit, I was doing all this in like an old, long, lengthy script of hell. All this was messy. Now things are contained in nice places. So let's have a look, shall we? You can see all that crap that's in there. Granted, some of this is shifted into another script, but the amount of crap in here compared to this clean script is insane. But what we want, we just want the rock bit. So essentially, swim pools, yes. Notchella 1, welcome to the stream. Panicked Monk, covered in monkness, welcome to the stream. Fanny, welcome to the stream. Internet somehow broke. Yeah. Not good. What is going on? Who's messaging me? Why am I getting like actual text messages? Hang on. Right, there we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, anyone else I've missed, welcome to the stream. God, what a day. Right, alright, let's see. So, spawning of rocks, the bit that we want is obviously the rock spawny bit. Let's see. So under tower rise, as you can see here, I've done place a rock here, place a rock here, place a rock here. I don't really want that. I should have the falling rock thing already, so what I'll do is I think I've got my references in place, I just don't have my doobry jangles. So I'm going to need to grab my doobry jangles. So I've got rock spawn, that's going to be the location that it spawns, and then I need the rock type, which is actually the activator, so it's CT falling rock, and I need to make these within the creation kit. And 4, I don't have a clue. I want to double check, and ouch, that burned my eyeballs. Hang on, I'm wondering where my little quick linky dinkies are. I thought I had like a quick link thing. No, hang on a minute, hang on a minute. Is it number 3? No, it's not number 3. Is it number 4? Oh, it's number 4. There we go. I knew I had a quick link to Papyrus somewhere on my keyboard. Okie doke. So, Jesus. That's right. I need place at me because I want to know what all the parameters here are. So, why isn't this dark mode? What if you don't have dark mode on any site, you're just a knob. Right, here we go. How many references at once to spawn? Form to place. How many references you want to spawn? So, and the last reference created is returned. So, caution. A, B, force persist. True to force, create reference to be persistent. True to force, reference is disabled. Don't need any of that, we just want to know how many we want to spawn. It's possible it'll spawn them and they'll just sort of bounce off each other, so that's kind of what I'm going to start with first. We're just going to spawn 4 and see what happens. And then I'm actually going to want to find a rock that's kind of going to work. So there should be like animated rock things that we can use. Trap falling rock, that's the ones. Because these are animated. And it would probably just be these shit things. So it's just got like physics trap on it. So what do I want to call it? I want to call it CT falling rock. They're activators for some reason. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but hey ho. CT falling rock doesn't actually need a name. We'll just do that and create new form just in case we need to change any settings. And then what we'll need is that actual thingy thing. So if we do like CTQ, we go into our quest and we'll fill that property in. Move that there. So I've got my events control now. When I autofill, should fill in the final property of the rock. If you smell. Let's see. So now what we want to do is we just want to load up Legacy. Because Special Edition is going to take a lot more work to shove things in now. Although we'll have a look at it in a bit, but I don't want to have to keep re-overwriting scripts and stuff. I want to use this for testing. So let's do CT entrance. Don't want to be here at all. Oh, lovely. Welcome to the stream. Only lurk, no problem. Hey, oh, hang on. Who were that? Who are you? Oh god, this looks like shit. Special edition looks gorgeous. It looks like something just died. Right, okay. Let's go COC. I see you're seeing. Actually, we want to, whoops. We want to do set level 12, and then we want to do COC into Riverwood, just so that Andean sort of shows up. Which is fine. Oh, hang on. Oh, there we go. And let's roll along here. Here he comes. Let's go into God mode because the dragon's probably going to eat us. Hello. Blah 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 blah. We'll run through this properly later and see it. Right, and then you read the note, and then the note's given to you, and then you're like blah 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 blah, and then you go to the entrance. Okay, and then you just go in here and then yoink. Oh, fuck, hang on. I actually need to pick the thing up. So all the quest stuff's going along. There we go. Let's get the glass and place it in the thingetti. Have the dragon spawn. Did I press that? No, I didn't press it, did I? There you go. Light. Oh my god, it's a dragon! And then Yeah! Got you, bastard. Right, let's select you. Set AV health to 1, I think. Right, and then we're going to have to hit him with a single arrow just so it pops his health down. I don't know why that's the case, but here we go. Yoink. I missed. I'm hopeless. There you go, right in the nose. Now he'll fly off and crash land. That's what he does. Music is not fitting for this at all. Sometimes you have to give him another slap. That gets absorbed into the portal. And then he disappears. At the minute, I think soul absorption's taking place, which shouldn't be a thing. I've got to find out how to disable that again. Done it before. So... And then what we want, we basically just want to get to the bit where the tower comes out the mountainside. And see if rocks get spawned. Well, there is a rock there, but nothing happened to it. You can kind of just about see it, and there's only one rock for some reason. So I'm just going to TFC over there and have a look. Is it one rock is the question. So let's have a look. So for some reason it's not there were 4 rocks. I disabled all of them. That's strange. So they've not even collided with each other, meaning they must have had some sort of setting on them, which is why I made a totally different sort of item for them. I'm just going to put CTG down here so I've got my quest sort of readily accessible down here whenever I need it. And then I'm just going to go for like CT rock down here or whatever. Yeah, is that not what it's called? Okay, so CT falling rock. Let's have a look-see. So, physical trap. Different thresholds and damages. They can actually clonk you on the head. Trap is interesting. I may have to load up with the old Crantia Tower just so I can see how this was done. But I'm going to guess the trap bit keeps it in place until something triggers it. Whereas what I actually want is for it to just drop. We did just save it, didn't we? Yeah. Hopefully this allows us to remove an entire sort of script from something. Okay, so that didn't work either. My controller's freaking out. Okay. I'm going to load up with the old Crantia Tower. Welcome to Stream Punk. Welcome to Stream Punk. Right, let's see. We want to do this one and then load the previous plugin just so we can sort of use it as a reference, because there's no point doing lots of trial and error for something that I can just copy from a working state. It just doesn't make sense. And then I'm going to show some other stuff with you that I've sort of been doing. Ah, no, I didn't pause Wallpaper Engine. I also didn't load Snip. There you go. Music's on there now. Okay. CK's loading. Oh dear. Tired. So. Falling rock. It has nothing on it. That's weird. So it can't actually hurt you, which is very interesting. Oh, I like that. We're using a large rock now. Before, we were using small. Oh no, we were using a large rock before, but now I'm using small. No. Bigger is better. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Landscape mountain something. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I'll just copy that. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. There we go. All right. Let's do that. And then let's just do landscape mountain slab. That'll be the one. Let's double check. Oh, I love eating cheese. Cheese is so tasty. I eat it all the time. Let's confirm that. Hopefully the rock will move. I did love the music until I started singing about cheese in the middle of it. Tasty! Right, let's do this again. Let's see if it works. And let's see what the timing's like on the pop. Doink! Oh, the timing's lovely, but the spawns are abysmal. Ah, dear. I gotta be honest, that's not good at all. The spawns are bad. There might be a reason that I used different X markers. It was just easier. Oh shit, I didn't walk into that, did I? That's the portal. We don't want to activate that right now. Well, the rock spawned. We're getting there. It's just a question of trial and error in terms of how they're gonna spawn. So, I wonder if we can do like an offset. Place at me. Yeah, we'd have to actually make the rocks bigger if we wanted that. I think they're fine. They're seeable. They don't need to be humongous. Don't come too worried about size. I wonder if it's possible to offset them. I don't think it is. That's a problem then. That's my plan out the window. Pandas. I really didn't want... I really didn't want that. You know, I'm gonna... I'm gonna leave it at that. I really don't feel like spending the time that we have today on fucking rocks. Not... Mind. Rocks falling. Notes to self, gotta love them. Alright. I think it looks good without them as well. That is the other consideration, is just to say, fuck off. Nobody wants rocks. People want to see you get your rocks off. Not on Twitch, they don't. Not at all. No, what do you want? No. Right, okay. I think we're going to go see this in game. That requires work. Very quick work. This one is going to not convert, but shove it in the other place very quickly. Shove it in special edition. Welcome, there's always about 50 people watching True Companions. Rub to stream, Milan. We've obviously got Twitch viewers as well, of which is usually about the same, or a couple more in this case, I think. We combine forces to make 34 current viewers. Clever. It's just good. People can watch from 2 different platforms. It also means I can't enable bits and get like little tip things like that through either YouTube or Twitch, but I don't give a fuck about that, so it's fine. I just wanna share the funsies. Right, so in here, this is our virtual folder for Skyrim Special Edition for the current testing version of CT. And then we're going to open another Explorer window because we just love Microsoft's Windows Explorer. We just can't get enough of it. We just want lots and lots of Explorer windows. We just love them. We're just going to put them all over the ultrawide. We're just going to be absolutely covered in File Explorer windows. They're an absolute thing of beauty, aren't they? Look at them in all their dark grey glory. It's just beautiful. That's all we need. Maybe not. Maybe we don't want all these. So now I've got a quick button on my keyboard, so it's just like get all the file explorers that you want. Anyway, let's just grab the ESP. Let's not bother converting it because nobody cares about correct file versions. No, nobody cares about that when you're testing. If it crashes, we'll just move on in life. It's fine. Right, let's paste that, overwrite that. We've got all the meshes now. The textures, CT textures. Let's do that. Script, CT, everything with a CT on the front of it. Copy that over. I do like a good script. Then sound, we want just effects because I haven't really changed the voice stuff at all. And then what we want to do is, you know what, we're going to close this because we're not going to use the other one as a reference, and I can load CK so quickly now. It doesn't matter. On Twitch, except when my notifications don't work. Yeah. Join the Discord. Discord notifications go ping within like the first few minutes. You joined that, but I knew that was going to happen at some point. I knew that were going to happen, Annie. I knew you were incoming. I just got a feeling in the force I did. Oh, God. I'll carry on just for you. No, I mean, I'll stop just for you. Right, let's go into the joyous special edition. Creation Kit. Disgusting. I actually need the ESP. Could be quite useful. Or we're not going to be generating new faces. Oh, hang on a minute. No, actually, yeah, I do need to regen. I changed Andian's hair colour because I thought, considering he's going to have a hood on, unless you've got a modded game that takes the hood off the hooded robes, it's vitally important that his hair colour be right, just in case, you know, you ask for a peek and he's like, does the Jedi hood off thing. Yes. We're going to have a look at the progress with the tower, the whole start the quest, and the tower rising out the ground in non-puke form, so in Special Edition rather than Legacy. And then I'm going to show you what I've been up to in regards to the interior design. And I used how to learn. I figured how to use a new, well, sort of got semi-taught, kind of figured out myself. How to use Blender. I've started. I'm on the path to madness. I loaded up Blender because I needed to do some changes, and I can't keep asking SimSim to do it because she's like, this is way below my skill level now. You're just a measly modder. I'm a professional games developer. You're nothing to me. Go away. So I was like, okay, I'll have to learn how to do it then. Which is fair enough. So what I need to do here... Your modding is pathetic and beyond me. It's only Andean that I really need to reface, but I'll do them both. Just in case. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go into here, into here, into here. We're going to copy mesh actors. And we're going to go shove it. We're going to shove it where we've never shoved it before. I can't find the folder. Let me do it through here. Just the actors. And then we'll do just the actors in here as well. So in Special Edition, we got actors here. Should have been recently changed. And then Bob's your uncle. What we'll do, we'll close this abomination. And then close that one as well, because we're not going to be doing that now. And then we'll try running it and hope for the best, and then turn up the music so you can all see and hear in all of its glory. Crash Team Racing. Well, it's not Reborn anymore. It's just Tower. Four days later. This will take a bit longer to load. Ah, no, never mind. The power of solid state drives and processors that don't limp. Can I please have the... Oh dear. There we go. Right, console. So what we're going to do first is player.set level to 12. If I go too high, the courier shows up and loads of other people show up and it just gets messy. Dawn Guard guy still shows up. He's annoying, but we'll just ignore him. He's not quite as forceful as the courier. The courier gets right up in your face. But the Dawn Guard guy just sort of like shouts across like, "You there! We're looking for people to fight vampires because we're crap at it." And it's like, he doesn't actually force greet as harshly. Right, this may run like a one-legged donkey with some severe knee problems, but I'll try not to pan the camera too much.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
I think it's running alright. I don't think it looks too bad.
Mother?
It should be relatively smooth.
It was as big as the mountain and black as night.
Come here.
Right over the
Let me see
barrel.
your face.
Hang on, I can't hear this.
Thank you.
There we go, it's better.
Here, this is for you.
If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy.
Alright, who are you? What do you want?
Please, we do not have much time.
It was a dragon.
It's all in this note.
And then you'll believe me.
Wait!
Now, I'm afraid I must leave you.
Magic.
You there.
No.
The Dawn Guard is looking for anyone willing
No.
to fight again.
No. 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 Right, there we go. He's gone. You know, I just had an idea for a mod. I don't know why, but I want a mod that lets you put chickens in your pocket and take them with you. I just have this urge to pick that chicken up, put it in my inventory, and then just put it down somewhere else. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting. Because they're always standing in the same place. Wouldn't it be nice just to give them some variety of, like, you know, scenery? I just pick it up and take it to Winterhold. Anyway. So what we've got here, I was approached by a mysterious assault. I'm not going to go through this. We kind of go through this every stream, but you got the nice objectives. You go into your inventory, you look at the note, you realise it needs rewriting because it's now out of date. You close it, and then you do what it says, and you go to Winterhold Mountains. We should have that on the map. Yeah. There it is. Ooh, there's something cool I can show you all now as well. A new thing. Is that a chicken in your pocket? Never mind. More chickens spawn. That'd be interesting. Alright, so, as you can see, it clearly looks a little bit better than Legacy did. Because Legacy looked like a polished turd. No matter how much you polish a turd, it's still a turd. So this one looks a lot better. So Erbrand froze to death because he's stupid. He came up here, he didn't bring enough supplies because he figured he was going to get inside the tower and life would be good. But it wasn't, it was bad, he died. Can't drag it. This thing currently doesn't look good. I've got to bring in the special edition meshes. I'm currently using legacy meshes, so it looks terrible. It's all blacked out. The crystal's meant to be a bit shiny, a bit nicer, especially when it's active. So then we can activate it. There we go. So it doesn't look as good as it should, so we'll just ignore that for now. In here, you can actually find something cool. It's completely pointless. It doesn't serve a purpose. It's just a nice little addition that I spent way too long on. But there's the map to the sanctuary. And as you can see, it's got a map with a nice coffee stain on it. A little map to the sanctuary in here written. And a little arrow saying where he's got to sort of head to. And a circle of roughly where it is. Which is kind of cool. So, yeah. What mods do I have? Oh, Christ. If you go on my website, www.darkfox127.co.uk, there is, I think it's on the front page as well, midway down. I've now added like my mod list and stuff like that. It's mostly in date. Coffee stain, totally lore friendly. Totally lore friendly. It's a stain of something. It doesn't have to be coffee. There are many, many, many stains. It can be whatever stain you want it to be. So, it looks cool. Who cares? So, there we go. Map to the Sanctuary. It's really good. It's actually a map from elsewhere in the game. I forget what quests it's a part of, but basically it had a load of writing on it, so I just used Photoshop to bullshit it away and then just replace little bits that went missing, and then coffee stain to cover up some of the stuff and look cool. And you kind of at first glance, without looking too much, it's pretty much the map, which is nice. Coffee mod, oh yeah, Eleanor's already done coffee mods. Alright, so, anyway, what we've done there... Oh, we didn't even read the journal. You can read the journal or you cannot read the journal. If you read the journal, you're not actually going to be running around like a pillock for too long. There's nothing in the journal yet. I haven't wrote it, or rewritten it, I should say. But there we go. It's like, you need to place this into the thing. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And now, as if by magic, we're going to get attacked by a dragon. Might want to add God mode. And we are going to bullshit this fight because I am ill-equipped for it. Stay back, you big aloof. Right, let's select... Oh, it's selecting the cloud. I get this a lot. There's more clouds in my special edition, so it's like I can't get a clickety-click on him. There he is. Set AV health. I'm doing this one-handed to 1. And then we shoot him once, it'll ping his health down. Ah, missed him. Right into belly. There we go, off you go. He flies away and then crashes his ass. Look out! Oh dear. Don't get crushed, you penis. Then he dies and then this all gets absorbed inside the entranceway. Rather cool. and he fades into dust. He's left that mess, but it should get cleaned up by the game later on. Should. Might have to test that at some point, or we're going to be in a bit of the shitter if it's like, oh, what a beautiful entrance. It's got a whole load of muck outside of it. But I think they do just clear up, because they're used elsewhere in the game. Alright, so now we're going to do the tower. This is Moment of Truth. I have tested it in Special Edition, and it did work last time. There have been a couple of changes. Hopefully it works again. Tower discovered. That is better than it's ever been. In terms of timings of everything, rumbling on the controller, sound effects, much cleaner, much better. I'm far happy with it. The tower design has had some changes from the old one, and it's had some changes from what was even in the last stream. So basically the I spat on the monitor and I spent ages cleaning that. Oh, bloody hell. Hang on. I miss spitter. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me rub that off. There we go. So, what I noticed is when I went to do the interior design after redesigning the redesign of the initial design, which was probably a redesign of the initial design, I realised that the windows needed to be placed upward and not actually at the player's level, because otherwise you look out the window and you see just like a flat line, and I can't figure out how to do all skybox bollocks. I ain't got time for that shit. Plus I don't want to change it because I want it to match an actual skybox in the game to mimic like the weather and stuff like that. So to fudge it, you want your windows above you. Your see-through windows inside looking out to be above you, so that you can just do like clouds and see the stars and whatnot. Just so you get that semi kind of looking outside effect from inside. So what I did is I raised the windows up a bit, and I've tried to roughly mimic where the windows are outside inside. The inside is a little bit different scale-wise than outside, but hey, welcome to Skyrim, isn't that the whole game? So, windows have been budged up a little bit. I had to manoeuvre the windows at the top here, change them around a little. So, each side of the balcony is now a window. The top ones are singular windows because I'm planning something. I have rearranged where the rooms are going to be and renamed many of the rooms, and I want to run it all by you all. So, yeah. It's now got the two towers, obviously, for two different lifts, which is just cool. And it's taller. It's even bigger. So I had some real issues trying to get the damn scaling and stuff to work this time around. We're trying to get the tower to rise. Because it got a little bit bigger, it needed scaling a little more downward with the mini version I spoke of earlier to get it to go up. Hey Silu, welcome to the stream channel, thank you for the follow. Anybody else that I've missed today, welcome to the channel. There's a lot of people joining, so apologies if I don't get around to welcoming you all. Yeah, timing's pretty good. So yeah. Pretty nice. It does use vanilla sounds for like the initial rumble from some generic dungeon thing, and then the rising of the tower sound is actually from the movement of a very similar Dwemer object from somewhere within the game as well. I'm not sure where. So, but I think that sounds kind of for some people that played the old one. It sort of has become a staple mark of the mod, and I was considering changing it, and I did look for the sounds, but I couldn't get anything, so I figured, you know what, it's actually a good sound. What I did in Tower Reborn, was it reborn? It may not have been reborn. I think what I did in the new one that I scrapped, or didn't scrap, because I'm bringing a lot of it into this sort of fresh idea. But what I did is I upped the sound in like Audacity or something, which was a terrible idea because I distorted it and it sounded awful. Now it sounds good again. So, Yeah. But anyway, this is going to take you into the test room. The test room is nothing fancy. It's just been there for the portal testing and to dump a couple of things that are quest related. So we have alias references that are already in the game rather than having to spawn them at your feet, which is a bit messy. So this should actually beam me into there. And I'll kind of describe what I'm thinking here is. So the portal does kind of light up as you get close and dull down when you walk away. I'll show you that in a moment. That was interesting. That's not happened before. I'm invisible. Ah, there we go. Cleaned itself up. Had a bit of a moment. I get some weird things happen in the game whenever I'm streaming because I'm having a hard time with stuff. That's fine. So, like, the Glarson's actually in here, like a copy of it. So we can pretend that's not a thing. That's going in the void. What I also have in here are random items which may confuse you. These are to symbolise the different rooms so that when I tested the portal, I could show myself that I'd gone to the correct room because the rooms don't exist yet. So I just needed sort of placeholder markers to tell me you've arrived at the right room. So what I'm going to do here, this isn't set up to light up and it doesn't have the effects and stuff so much, but this is like a bog standard version of a portal that just gets the actual functionality testing done. So there won't be a huge button like this that's ridiculous, but you'll have a menu. You've got now the Arbitorium, Arboretum. Why do I say Arbitorium? I don't know. Arboretum, Mage's Quarters, whatever the hell that says. I googled it and it said that's what it should be. It's basically the library. Spirit Chamber, Dormitory, Foundry, Vault, and Entrance. Because I couldn't find a cool word for entrance. Mage's Quarters. You've got the Archmage's Quarters, so it made sense just to have Mage's Quarters for this place. I didn't want to put Arch in front for obvious reasons. But what will happen is when you select this, it's actually going to spin the portal round to the accompanying symbol. Now, there's going to be a symbol. At the moment, it's Mage Script, and it's the first letter for each, but it's wrong because it needs updating. Now, I've changed the names. I need to update the portal symbols, and I'm already going to run into a problem because I've got two beginning with A. So I'll have to figure out what I want to do there. I might just do sort of symbols. I don't know. But basically, they've currently still got a symbol attached to them. You won't know if it's right or wrong. I will. And when you select one, it will spin it around to that symbol. The sound is a little off at the minute. It's not perfect. Don't know if I'll ever be able to perfect it, but it's got a sort of spinning sound. I don't know if you could hear it. And it pates around to select which one you want to go to. So you'll notice that was only one along from Dormitory Foundry, so it only spun once, and it knows whether it needs to go clockwise or anti-clockwise to get to it the quickest. And what you can do, you just like... That is going to determine where you're taken to when you step onto the portal. So that was selected to the Arboretum, which is basically the new garden area. So you don't have to jump into it. But if I jump into the portal, that in theory should beam me to the plant. So it spins around, locks in. It's kind of like a Stargate because I'm a big Stargate fan. And this is a super cool idea to sort of translate into this mod, I think. So it just dials it in basically, which is interesting. Ah, there you go. Already a Stargate comment. Do you watch Stargate? If you're a fan, then yeah. So, Foundry. This should take me to the anvil. And it works off a relatively short script as well. That's just based off pure math, which is really good. So, there you go. You can see that it's sort of figuring out what degrees to rotate, what area to go to. Spirit Chamber is what the new lobby is. You used to beam into the lobby. You won't anymore. You'll beam into the Mage Quarters. It's the one that makes the most sense. It's at the very top of the tower. And I'm moving the Alchemy Lab for very good reason. So let's go in. What did I select? I don't know what I selected. Let's find out. I think I selected Spirit Chamber. I should be by the book. Ah, that happened last time. It didn't take me quite to the right place, so I might have something in the wrong order in the form list. But it checks a form list thing. So that's basically what that is. So I'll get that polished off. That shouldn't be a problem. Should work like a charm. For the most part. Vestibule. Maybe. This is now going to absorb the soul of that fucking dragon that died. It's not supposed to do that. Pretend that didn't happen. There are obviously issues. This is nowhere near complete. Because I don't want you absorbing the soul of what's not really a real dragon as such. It's like a magical one. So it shouldn't have a soul. Shouldn't let you do that. And as you can see, yeah, well, you may have seen, it's going to be a lot easier to show you this when it's dark. And you'll see this... Oh, hello. You'll see this a lot more when you're inside, because the lighting allows for it. But this is a lot more impressive when it's nighttime. When it's in a darker area. So you can see it's lit up. You can see that the symbols are all lit up as well. This one you can't dial in where you want to go. This will always just take you into the mage quarters and then you can go where you want from there. This is just set completely differently. Once you pass a certain point, it disables the portal. It turns it off. Now, for some reason, it's not deleting the light source that hovers over the portal. So you can see it still looks like it's kind of half lit. It shouldn't do that. It should be deleting that light. And I don't know why it is. But I'm wondering if it's stacking, because it's supposed to spawn a light there and then it's supposed to delete the light. I think now it's working, actually. You can see it's kind of working now. After like the first time it started working, which is very strange. No, and then it's failed to delete a light. Hang on. But yeah, you can see it kind of lights up. The symbols then darken when you move away. The effect fades off when you walk away from it as well. Again, it's not quite polished, but that's the kind of idea. And then you can just beam straight into where you want to go. So that's kind of the state of where we're at right now. Tower's obviously lit correctly as well. So the changing of window colour and stuff like that. I would have liked to do something that I did in Mershcombe Estate, which was have it so that the windows will actually be lit with light coming out of them or not, depending on if the sconces are lit in that room. But it's just not possible with something of this size. It's too messy in terms of scripting. It's not really worth it. Nobody would notice that kind of detail. Well, you probably would notice that kind of detail more so here than you would in Mershcombe, but it's just not worth doing. I don't think it's a problem. And with something like a Wizard's Tower, it's not like a homely feeling of I need to turn the lights off when I go to bed. It's more of an epic tower that you're going to leave the lights on, and then if you don't want people to see you, well, you can make the tower go invisible anyway. So rather than turn the lights off or blow the fires out at night, with the Wizard's Tower, it's more make it disappear and go into stealth mode. So yeah. Yeah, live wallpaper would be cool. I don't know. Maybe I could make one. Probably could. Oh, God, I'm falling off. So anyway, I'll tell you what I have been doing as well now. So let's hop in. So let's hop back into the creation kit. We're not actually getting a lot done. I think what I'll do is I'll kind of use this stream now as like I might snip it out and use it as like an update of where we're currently at for people that want to see the caught up status of it and kind of get a feel of how it looks. Yeah. So I'm getting a little into Blender, but I don't want to be making my own models. I'm using it purely to import and export Skyrim models so I can make tweaks where I need to with Dwemer structures that don't match what I need. And I'm going to show you an example. So any of you that played the old Corinthia Tower are going to find this one. Either one of the old Corinthia Towers. A very old Corinthia Tower is totally different from Corinthia Tower Reborn. Corinthia Tower Reborn, this is going to be similar, but it's going to be very different. So the Alchemy Lab used to be what the I tell you, these fucking names, they don't want to stick in my brain. I need to go in here and find my editing work. I don't know what I've done with it. Arr. I sort of dumped it in here. I thought I dumped it in here. I'd figured it out, and this happens every time I figure out the design of the tower. I somehow lose it. Give me a moment, because I don't know where I'm keeping stuff. Wow, I don't even know what I called it. I called Untitled, is it? I probably didn't even bother to give it a name. Nah, I've lost it. But basically, what's going to replace the alchemy lab? It's going above the mage quarters in the same cell. So the reason for that, let me get the model of the tower so we can sort of spin around it and I'll show you. I'll explain to you what I mean. Got you just enable, disable windows on the outside on top of already existing windows based on interior condition. I could, but again, it's a bit messy, and I don't think that feature's needed in this particular mod. But that's essentially what I did for Mershgum. Right, let's view the tower. So to show you where everything's going to be, the top section here, this entire top section, is going to be 2 rooms rather than 1. Pretty much all the other rooms are going to be multiple rooms. So this is going to be what used to be the lobby, I think. No, it's not. No, this one with no windows at the minute, that's going to be what's now called the spirit chamber. That would have been the lobby. Down here is going to be the dormitory. Up here is going to be the library. At the top is going to be like the alchemy lab and the mage quarters. I'm just going to use them by their own names. And at the very bottom is going to be the forge. And then beneath, sort of right at the bottom, is where the vault would be, which I'm probably going to want to rename and change its actual purpose. Just so it's an icy area where everything's like sort of charged up and whatnot. That's kind of the layout I'm going for. Now, the reason that I want the alchemy lab at the very, very top of the tower and the mage quarters at the very, very top of the tower is because it makes absolute sense that the one place that we've got a huge skylight window is where the alchemy is. How are all those plants going to grow inside with like a few windows at the sides? How the hell are they going to get any light? They're getting no natural light. So the alchemy lab needs to go right on the top. So all the natural light comes in, helps grow the plants and all that good stuff. And then the mage quarters is going underneath it, because I still want the mage quarters at the top, because that's where you've got this epic view. This is where your throne is essentially going to be. So you still want that there. And it kind of makes sense. It's going to be just on top of it anyway. It's not going to be embedded in with it. They're going to be there 2 different things. And I'll show you in a minute what I've got so far. So, and then it makes sense that we have I don't know if I'm going to add some windows here or not, but a mostly darked out room for the spirit chamber, because that's where dark things happen and you conjure up creatures, and it's going to be much more impressive with that central lit up area if we don't have a lot of natural light coming in and ruining it. And then the library deserves to have like a good full set of windows around it, which previously it didn't. It only had a window either side. Bit crap, wasn't very epic, and meant I've got far too much wall space to fill up for books. I need a little less wall space. And also, it was squashed. It had a very low ceiling. I want a much more open, large room for the library. So that's why that's going there. And then the dormitory. The dormitory is the one that makes more sense to have less windows, but it still needs some light. So it's only got a window on each side. So that made a lot more sense to me. Now, also the original design of where the lifts come in, I've only just fucking thought of it, is based on linking up the different types of areas. So the living quarters I think were supposed to be linked, and then like the other places were meant to be linked. At the moment, this looks like we've got like the dormitory linked with the library, which kind of makes sense because the dormitory is where you're going to have like students, and then they're going to want to pop up to learn real quick on the lift, I suppose. And then you kind of link in what's a personal kind of conjuring place with the mage quarters and alchemy lab, which is kind of that's the bosses, the mage, the archmages stuff. So actually, interesting that the layout does still work. Now it looks like there's not a link into the forge, but that's because this is going to be buried beneath the mountain anyway, so there's no point putting a part on the mesh making it a larger size for something you're never going to see. But this one will link in as well. So again, the foundry, that's completely linked with the owner of the tower. It's not something where you only need a lift linking the areas that your apprentices and whatnot are going to be living in. So it actually makes absolute sense at the moment. And then that'll also link down to the vault. So basically the one tower is linked only to two places that is just used by, apprentices and whatnot. Those that are learning, those that are at the tower here is your bitches. So then the other tower is the big beastly, sort of not tower. The other lift is like the beastly one that's used by the mage himself. So, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I want to do, like, students thing. Whether you just kind of move your own followers in or whether I do, like, a system similar to what I'm trying to make with the Code of Moloch, I don't know, where you can sort of, like, bring people in to the fold and then it'll give them packages and stuff. Whether I just add some dialogue to different people in the game, I might do that. So that you can officially bring them on and then have additional options for them. It sounds like something I could definitely do. Like, so bringing somebody from the College of Winterhold on your side instead and converting them over to you, bringing them over to you. Like, you become Archmage, it's like, no, I want you to study at the tower now. You're going up to the next level with me now. Maybe you could then recruit them and it would just overwrite all their packages. Bring them into the tower, send them out on missions, come back with cool stuff, move spell tomes, stuff like that from leveled lists. That'd be really good. Yeah, College of Winterhold, you don't do anything. That's true. I'm the Archmage now. Haha, cool, right? It's like, no, because you don't do anything. But the idea is that you can do stuff. Take on apprentices. Send them out on missions. Yeah, I think we definitely want to do something like that because it also does give the tower more meaning. Because again, the old tower is just, what do you do with it? You kind of live in it. But if you can tie some more stuff into it. I wouldn't say a competitor of the College of Winterhold. I'd say something more along the lines of this being an extension to it, or it can be completely separate. It's player choice. It can be whatever you want. This is meant to be more secretive, which is why you can kind of hide it away once you've rediscovered it. But anyway, that's a lot of talk. We want to take a look at what I've got now. I've got a shader issue going on. I'm pretty sure it's linked with the Windows. This is something that I really wanted to avoid. Line 806. I actually want to check that before I go any further with anything. Let me have a look, because that's interesting. I wonder if that actually means anything. It's just a load of jibber jabber. Let me put some music back on. I think it's full of shit. I don't think we've got anything like 108 in here. I don't know what it's in reference to. But I've checked this over and there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. It's got the right BS flags and whatnot. It's got an environmental map. Not sure if it should. So that shouldn't and doesn't. That shouldn't and doesn't. And then that shouldn't and doesn't. But it's definitely like... Oh, hang on. It's referring to shaders of some sort. And BS lighting shader property. So I'll have to look into that because I don't want shitty errors like that. I want to know what they are. But what I'm doing is I'm starting to build out the new one. Now, I like I joked earlier, and I was being serious about what I've actually done. I can't keep going to SimSim, my partner, who's really moved on from modding at this point. I can't keep relying on her to do this, making mesh cuts for me and stuff. It's not fair. So I thought, fuck it, I'll finally learn and figure something out for myself, which I haven't done in a while. And basically, I don't know if I'm doing it right still, but I've done it the best that I can. I've tested everything. It seems to work. No crashes, no problems. But I've figured out how to import and export in Blender with my own little method. And I've been editing some meshes. So what I've got here, or what I had, with these wall pieces here, let me duplicate one and then move it so I'm not like just destroying the mod. So I've got sort of one here and then one here, and we got these two meshes that are primarily used for this interior piece. There'll be more. But what we have here, we've got the walls. I've changed the UV maps, so they're a bit bigger, so a bit more detailed. That's usually a nice trick to do. Just that those playing with lower res sort of textures still get a decent experience. It doesn't look like puke. With these, I sort of had like this big open bit that goes down that was never used in the floor. It's just like a waste of space and something that's loading that doesn't need to be. So I've chopped that out. Then I had like a ceiling piece in here that came over as part of the original mesh. I've chopped that out. And then I've re-put the textures on. I've done a very much the same thing with this because I needed to add a top section on, and I'll show you what this is from. So what I've done here, so the original of all these things, this was originally all one mesh. This piece, these pieces, all one mesh. And I had sort of cut versions of these, but they still had these sort of ceiling parts. These bits here were still on, so I cut them out. I've cut this whole stupid floor bit out. See that dropping into the floor? It's used in where this is used in the game, but it's not used in my mod, so I don't need it. So I deleted that out. And then this whole thing, I took out and I got some Sims help on this one, just for a general Blender experience. So I'm still learning. I cut out the top section here, as you can see, because this is what the dome attaches to. So you attach the dome onto the top, and job will be a good one. I don't have this bit which the dome needs to attach on, so that might be something I want to go in and steal. Go and snag. I may want to add that on too, but I don't know yet. This top section I don't care about because I'm changing it to just like a spacer. That's perfectly fine. But I'll put the dome on top of here, which will be snazzy. So what I needed this to plonk onto something that was a lot more modular. So I just chopped it up into all the modular pieces and wound up with this. So what you can see, we've got a very large area. Now normally what we get in the rest of the tower, let's do that, is about that much. That's sort of what you get per room in the other towers, but a little bit higher so that you've got a bit more room for double windows. So I'd say probably that. That's what you get in the rest of the tower. But this is going to be like a double layered room, which I'm really hoping, thanks to the height and whatnot, is going to kind of work for me. Now, we do actually, and I didn't think we had any, but we do seem to have a couple of gaps, so I might have to do some nudging of bits. Could have sworn that I'd gone on perfectly, but I think I might have to just drop it a slight amount so it sits on nicely. I think that might work a bit better. I think that's... maybe it hasn't. Maybe that's better now? You can always still sort of see a part of it, I think. But yeah, I knew it wouldn't go on perfect because it's very difficult to work with. But I can probably put some sort of rim on to bullshit it. I can just do that. Might get away with that. I think I just need to bring it down enough. Can't see it anymore. Yeah, I think I got away with that. Alright, well, not got away with it. I just need to move it down more. So, little things where I find little irritations and limitations, I should say. The one thing I had is I'm using these spacers as ceilings. And that's perfect when they're ceilings, but I'm now using it for a mid-floor. So I needed a thinner spacer. I was like, well, I really need to be able to do that. So I popped in Blender again, shrunk it, squeezed it down. And you got to be careful not to kill off the UV maps, but this turned out okay. So I've got like a thin spacer. It's little things like that that I really just needed that I've gone ahead and changed. I've done. So yeah, just little things like that I needed the capability to actually do, and I can now do that. So that's fantastic. Let me double check this because I accidentally undid it. Fucked it all up. Oh, there we go. That's fine, it's on there. So I've got to go ahead and put a dome on that. I'm not going to do that in the stream, but I want to put a dome on there. I've got the windows here, which I think I'm in. What I'm doing in the other rooms is this. Basically a doubled up window. You can do it that way. But I don't want double windows in here. I don't want that much light around the bottom because we're going to get an awful lot of light from the top. I only wanted singular windows in this one. So, yeah. That's what I wanted. So now, yeah, it can all link up. Oh, and the main thing that was wrong with this is obviously what you get with this mesh is this whole fucking curved platform of hell. So I chopped all that off. I chopped all this ring off. All that's kind of gone. But what I'm thinking is I do want a kind of, potentially, want a half see-through floor here. I don't know yet. I might experiment with that. Could be a problem though, because what will happen if you cut a hole in it is you won't have anything for around the edge. So I might have to do some Blender work and tidy that up, but I don't know. It might be a bit tricky. So yeah, and then what I want is like, I mean, I'm not going to use bridges at all here, I don't imagine, but something that I was kind of thinking. I think I'm just going to toy with stuff and talk to you about stuff. I don't think we're going to do much now, but we will do on the weekend. I'm just going to use this as an example just to show you what I want. This is by no means what I'm going to be using, but I want like bits that shoot off to the edge, because it's obviously going to need to go. I've put stuff in basic locations. So here you'll have a bit that stretches out and then goes to the outside. So that will lead off to like the outside. And then one or two that lead off to other areas. So I think I'm meant... this is interesting now. I may need to edit this top mesh that I made. Because let me have a look at the main tower. No, I don't have any windows at the top. That's fine. So no windows at the top. Perfectly fine. That's great. What I may have, which is why there's like a hovering spacer. Oh, hang on a minute. Is a platform that comes out here a little bit. And that would be a lift to take you up. But I don't know how annoying that would be. I mean, this thing's going to go a little slower than you might want. It could be very irritating trying to go from one floor down to the other, one floor down to another, because something that you do a lot in your house mods is obviously you run around like a headless chicken trying to organize and move stuff. So if you're picking some ingredients out there and then you want to hop down to the mage quarters but it's too much of a drop that it'll kill you, you jump on the lift and it's like it's kind of like the little mini turbo lifts that you get in engineering in Star Trek, like on Star Trek Voyager, if any of you've seen that. I just imagine that, and you're just standing there for ages waiting to go down, then you like grab something, then you hop on it again, then you just stand there and wait ages for it to go back up. It'd be so fucking tedious. So it's a cool concept and idea and something I could do, but it's probably not really going to it's not really going to work in gameplay wise for Skyrim. I think people get really annoyed with that. So the other thing that we have, of course, there are sort of, I don't know what they call them in this. I think it's like a curved bridge thing. Let me have a look. Dwemer. Because I think I chopped these out myself from the big mesh I showed you earlier. Oh no, they do have them. I think I made custom versions of these. Because what I can do, and these are in the original Corinthia Tower, not reborn. I could do sort of coming round stairs, and it really depends how large they wind up being, how much of a difference. But I think I'd find it far less frustrating going up something like this than I would a stupid fucking mini turbo lift style thing. This would be far more convenient. It would also pay homage to the old Corinthia Tower. I'd only have it in this room. I'd only need it in this room. So it could be pretty fun in that regard. And then if we sort of duplicated these, I don't know if I want to use them. Problem with these is they're ramps, and I just don't really like them. They've not got like another direction there. I just don't like them, really. They'd be a lot better than a lift, but I don't really like them at all. So steps would be more ideal. Like this, but with steps on it, would probably be better. More interesting as well, better looking. But that's sort of the ideas that I'm kind of toying with there. The other problem that you actually get with ramps here is if you do need more space around the edges and you don't want to take up too much of this room, well, that's exactly what these ramps do. And as you can see, they can easily interfere with windows. So now, the more that I sort of look at it, the more I realise there's nowhere in this room that they could really go that they're not going to interfere with something. So they probably wouldn't work even if there were steps. A ladder would be dumb, obviously. Quick, because you'd do a quick animation to beam up, but really bad idea. Something that would be super cool, potentially, is you can get those animated lifts that take you up, plonk you on top from the DLC. However, they have far too much of a reach and can't be tweaked, so that wouldn't work. But yeah, you can kind of see that the general design is starting to come together. This is the trickiest room to design, so it's kind of good it's the first I'm starting with. This is the room that you'll be spawned into when you start, and it'll be all like run down and old and whatnot. I really want to flesh this out. But the old alchemy lab, which in case any of you haven't really seen it, Towet, Corinthia Towet. It's interesting. It's Tower Reborn. I see. So this essentially is being lifted up above the mage quarters, and then I was thinking I might have some sort of glass flooring around it, but I haven't fully decided on that yet. At least around one edge, so maybe this would be a little more larger and just encompass around here, and then the alchemy in the middle, and then imagine the dome on top. It'll really come together more when you can see it, but yeah. I think somebody mentioned tutorial for Blender. I mean, sure, maybe if I got around to it, to be honest. I'm still not 100% sure that I'm importing and exporting correctly in Blender. Pretty sure I am. I mean, it works. Might not be the best route that I'm taking, but it works. It's certainly quite quick for me. Because, I mean, I've had a hard time finding a good, reliable, up-to-date video that's like, here's the latest version of Blender, here's the latest plugin, and here's how you can just import, export the easiest way. The problem with that is then people get that expectation that you know what you're doing in Blender. I don't. I really don't. And then people are like, how do I do armor mods with all these different things? And I can't answer those questions, so... Sure, I can have a bit of a disclaimer for that, but... I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody came in comments and said this isn't how it's done, then I'd probably reply with, well, where's your video then? Because we could really do with one. Yeah, knowledge hoarder. But yeah, anyway, that's the general design. So I'm going to end up going away and kind of sorting out the dome. Like I said, with that old observatory chamber, I can chop out the bits that I need and arrange them how I want. I'm definitely going to need this ring, because I remember, I think what I did last time, I just tried to fudge it on top of that, when all I had to do was see if I could have got SimSim to chop this out. So let me just turn the lights. So yeah, this dome here, and what I need to do is just change it to my own colour then as well. So it should all be quite cool then. Just want to get a little closer look at it. I think that's also a part of it. Yeah. And of course, I'm sure in Crentitare Reborn it was invisible. Well, not invisible. It was transparent. It was like a big window. I actually want this to be like a window as well, again. And I want it so that you can control it. So when you first spawn into here, it's sort of closed off. It's shut. And then it sort of changes into like a transparent window when you do something. That'd be really cool. But this will be the start of your journey this time around, if I ever get it finished. A lot cooler. So I've got to decide how to get onto this next level. I've got to decide how the floor's going to work, how layout's going to work and everything. I just want to piece the general structure together. I've just got to figure out putting in the lift, putting in the exit outside, putting in the base floor, and then figuring out how a lift would work. I mean, I could probably test... the lift wouldn't be a problem if it was quick. If it was relatively fast, I don't think people have a problem with it. But if you go too fast, you end up going... juddering and bobbing, and it doesn't work very well. So... pipeline generate collision meshes too. I don't know how to do collision meshes in Blender yet. That's something I'd have to look at. But if you want a very quick collision on something in the messiest way possible, you can just use what I've now been using just to make things easier on myself for the time being. In my tools, I have the NIF util suite, which you can download from somewhere and then set up the XML. And this, a little old, a little clunky, but you go into chunk merge and you select your mesh, and you select your mesh again, and you tell it to use the mesh data, and you do single, and you set the material, and then you add collision, and it'll basically put collision on it. Make a backup of your mesh before you do it though, and that just adds collision, but it does it based on the mesh. So if you've got an awful lot of polys, it's probably not the best method to use, because it's going to generate a heavy collision on it. So yeah. Really, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at anyway. I'm going to probably work a little on this off stream, so I might have some more to show you next time, and hopefully I'll be showing more of the actual development and design going on as we do it. So hopefully what I'll do is I'll blender up all the pieces that I need, and then I'll show on the next stream piecing all of that together, and we can see some cool level design going, and then hop into a bit of scripting. Like I said last time, I want to mix things up a bit. I want to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because if you get too focused on the one thing, it gets too stagnant, you get frustrated, you run out of creativity and ideas, and then you just burn straight out. So if I want to continue on with this, I've got to bounce around a little bit, do different things. But so far, it's really, it's starting to come together. The fact the entrance all works great. We watched that earlier on. It's really cool. Very happy that I've got those options open to me to blender things up, so it can really make this the vision that I had. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. You may have noticed I'm sort of wrapping it up already. I need to go and hang out with SimSim and just take a breather before food, and then video games later on. So yeah, I'm going to close this stuff. But it's mostly coming together. It's looking really good. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed the preview. Yeah, all great. So that is going to be just about it from me. So I remember all the stuff I used to say. Check out the website, www.darkfox127.co.uk. Check out all the stuff down there. I've got a link to my Discord, my Nexus, my YouTube, over here. Anyway, there's stuff over there. Check all the stuff over there. Check all that out. It's all good. Lots of stuff on the website. Website's still being updated currently. It'll be done soon. Completely done. It's mostly there. But yeah, so please join the Discord. Do all the things. I will be back streaming Saturday most likely if I don't decide to stream before then. Possible that I will. If I do stream before then, it will be 4 or 5 p.m. UK time, so you can catch me then. Otherwise, you can check out the stream schedule and stuff on the website. So until then, thank you all very much for watching, and I will speak to you all next time. I forgot where the fucking end button was.